Okay. Alrighty then. Welcome everybody. So what happened last week? Does Di remember what happened last week? That is the real question. Does Di know what happened? Come here. Here, set. Di, do you know what happened? Today might be a little bit of a longer stream because I think we're going to be doing 2 parts today. Just thinking. Daniel, say hi to the world. 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 Okay. So, we learned that Vera is the one making the forgeries. Drew Misham is the one that's doing the business aspect of it. And she's she's the one that's paying for the clients. Yeah. So that's one thing we learned. So we also have a lead that he was killed by a stamp that may have been delivered by the client. That happened to have been delivered 7 years ago. So that's where we're at right now. October 8th, 1:24 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 6. Okay. So where exactly does this leave us, Apollo? Well, the Drew Misham who was killed wasn't Drew Misham, the forger, basically. Huh? Well then, who was he? Well, he was actually doing her nails. So you really made the forgeries? Yes. Her father. I know. It was wrong. Could you tell us how it happened? My father was a painter. I loved painting ever since I was a child. One day, Father saw it in me. He saw that I had the talent. The talent for making forgeries? She is a prodigy at painting, and she inherited it from her dad. How should I say it? It was not only paintings I made. Given the materials, I could make anything. Anything? Father was so proud, and I so happy. But in the end, I was making those Forgeries? I've never had a good constitution nor personality. I know very little of the world outside my door. Vera lives in a very sad life. A child that doesn't know the outside world. Now, because of me, Father is... Do you know about this red envelope? I remember that envelope. It was some time ago. So you were already creating your work back then? I started when I was only 12 years old. So that one who figured out the stamp was poison, that was... Mr. Justice, it's time. To the courtroom, please. Right. Out of time. Wait, Vera, just one more thing, please. Those 3 paintings in the studio. I painted those as part of my work. Right. See, we checked them out and saw what was underneath. We saw the rough sketches underneath the 3 finished paintings. I see. Mr. Justice. Yes? Father, he knew of you. Of both of you. Your late father? He was watching. Gathering information. This is creepy. Very creepy. All about the Wright & Co. law offices. But lately, we're not doing just law. Yes, you do tricks, gags, to amuse, and play piano. Well, they're not really gags. Yet, when Father heard you had resumed the legal business, how pleased he was. Who was Mr. Misham? How am I supposed to know? Very creepy indeed. What if he was Daddy's daddy? Judging from the relative age involved, I say it's highly unlikely. Things are already confusing. Things are already confusing enough with all the daddies running around. So, if you're wondering why the game keeps going back to Vera painting her nails, this will become very significant really soon. We know that the victim's daughter, Vera, was the forger. What does this mean for the case? Guess we're about to find out. October 8th, 1:36 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Court is now in session. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Perhaps you could begin by telling us how it all worked? How did you set up the Drew Mission Forger persona? There's that stare again. She's drilling more holes into his head. I know it's hard for you, but hey, he's a handsome guy. What's hard? Very well, miss, if you would. Did you really make those detestable forgeries? Perhaps you would rather answer my question. Were you the one who painted that painting? The remarkably similar one? Yes. I painted it. Yes. Father praised me quite highly for it. So, she was the one who made the forgery. Yet, she did not wish to reveal the truth of their operation. So the victim was a stand-in. a decoy. To the world at large, he was the forger, not her. I've done a bad thing. I have, haven't I? Regardless, we need a little more information. About, for instance, this. You have seen this before, ja? Yes. It was in the desk drawer. Very well. You may proceed with your testimony. Tell us everything you know about this envelope. The red envelope. I created things and Father sold them. This envelope came from my first work. That was other than a painting. Father handled the deal, all of it. I received the stamp that was in that envelope. It was after that job that we moved to the current studio. We only got 4 statements out of that one. There certainly was much of a great interest in your testimony. Not that the witness realizes it. Very well, please begin the cross-examination. Right, okay. I need more information about this forger. This Drew Misham. Oh, 5 statements. So, these things you were making, you mean paintings identical to other paintings, right? The closer they were, the happier Father was. I was happy too. Still, you're quite young now. When did you begin this work? My first painting sold when I was 12. Your Honor, she had no idea what she was doing was illegal.
Objection!
Easy there, little attorney. You're not here to defend her for the crime of forgery. True. So, they're not really detesting the fact that she forged paintings. She's already admitted that much. So, they're not basing her crimes based on what she did 7 years ago. Please tell us more about this envelope. This envelope that may very well have killed your father. All right. By other than a painting, you mean you'd only done paintings up to that point? Yes. But Father had a realization. He noticed my talent extended to making things other than painting. For instance, a letter someone had written, or a fingerprint left upon a cup, or a signature on a document, a seal upon a letter. None of this makes her sound very innocent at all. So, this tells us another thing. She also can make replications of forged documents and items. And that $100,000 promised in this letter was the start. The beginning of a new industry for Drew Misham. A new industry? The creation of items to be used in criminal proceedings. Forging evidence, in other words. Uh-oh. So you didn't know how the things you were making were being used? I enjoyed painting very much. I think I understand. Rilan has lived in an unusual little world. Could you tell us what happened to the papers that were in this envelope? Father signed them and sent them back, I believe. Did he follow the instructions? Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp. This is a rather important matter. Give your answer some thought. What do you mean, you received it? Did I do something wrong? You didn't use the stamp because it was dangerous, correct? Deadly poison on the back. Atroquinine. Unfortunately, she did not know that at 12.
Objection!
A moment, forehead. You can't force an answer upon the witness. Now then, perhaps, you would tell me, villain, why did you receive this stamp? Is something wrong? It was beautiful. Oh, you mean it was one of those commemorative stamps? Yes. I think it was. So, you didn't know about the poison? I guess not. Of course not. She wouldn't. There would have been no need for her to know that. Not unless somebody told her directly. So the trap failed by chance, by mistake, thanks to this commemorative stamp. Quite the close call.
Hold it!
You mean you moved to where the current Drew studio is? Yes. We saw very few people there. I began drawing picture books. This single job had tied them to the criminal underworld. I think Mr. Misham wished to reduce this visibility in the world at large. When we had to meet someone for some reason, Father posed as the creator of the work. So that was the real essence of the artist, Drew Misham? You did the work and he supplied the face? So, you really didn't know anything, did you? You had no idea how much danger you were in. Apparently not. About this commemorative stamp. Could you tell us more about it? It was very pretty. And more than that, yes? It was a picture of people I liked at the time. This is something new. Apparently, we've got some cross-examining yet ahead of us. If you would be so kind as to continue your testimony, Ferlan. The stamp was a picture of my favorite magician, so I kept it. Magicians? I love mysterious things. I always have. Even though she fainted when she saw Mr. Hat. You're confusing mysterious with freaky. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. See? Isn't magic great? Fine, great, yeah, sure. No need to get all excited. But the magic coupe we saw disbanded soon after. I was quite sad. Did she just say what I think she said? Hello, Phoenix. Magic Troupe! That is the key solution. Magic Troupe? Now where have I heard that before? The red envelope came after she completed her first job. That makes it a letter from her client, whoever wanted a forgery made. Apollo! We're close. We just have to piece together the parts. A deadly weapon in a red envelope. And the path is it took to take True Mission's life. Now, we need to figure out the statement. And if you need Andy's help, you'll have to message him. It would make sense. Remember what she said. She kept this stamp. There's nothing on page 1 that's going to help us.
Objection!
That is not going to help. The 7 clearly reveals a contradiction in the statement, Your Honor. How exactly are the evidence in the statement just not related? They aren't, are they? Not at all. Mr. Justice, please think the fact over before making accusations. I don't think that won me any points with the judge. Okay, so that was not correct. If you want Andy's help, you can go to him. The statement does make sense because she no longer has the stamp. Nothing yet? Ping him more. Still hasn't responded back to you? I can hear him talking to an AI. Still no response yet, has there? Not entirely sure what happened to this stick here. See how free moving this is compared to this one? This one hardly moves at all. This one moves like there's something inside of it broke. And this happens to be a third-party controller, even though it says Nintendo Switch onto it. This is technically a third-party controller. Keep spamming him. Then you let me know if he finally responds back to you. Just tell him, stop ignoring me, I need your help. Back. No, this is the new one. This is the only new one. Okay. The ticket? Okay.
Objection!
Those magicians you like. Was it this bunch? Apollo! They're not a bunch! I see. Still, I have to wonder. Why include a commemorative stamp like that into a business letter? Good question. Well, pretty stamps are always better, and you can't beat Tupe Gamari. But the whole murder plan was a failure because of it. Ironic, don't you think? Prosecutor Gavin? Why is he sweating bullets? Prosecutor Gavin? Gramari? What's with Gavin? Might I ask you just one question of this witness? In your testimony just now you stated, this was your first work that was other than a painting. Please, tell me, what exactly did you make? Can I ask why? No, answer the question, now! Prosecutor Gavin, you're usually not the one whose volume concerns me. Yes, it is unbecoming of me, I apologize, but I must know, please, Miss Misham, tell me. It was a book, a single page in a book. A book? Please be more specific. It was a handwritten book, like a diary. No, I don't know. What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks like he just saw a ghost. Miss Misham, this book. Was there a picture of a silk hat on the back cover? Yes or no? How did you know?
Objection!
Prosecutor Gavin, the defendant is answering all your questions. Stop badgering her. He's told you nothing, has he? Your soiled-suited mentor, nothing! Soul Lord did... Who? Phoenix Wright, who else? Daddy? He never told you about that trial 7 years ago? About how he came to lose his attorney's badge? It was a certain piece of evidence that decided his fate, you know. A certain diary. On the back, it bore the mark of a silk hat. What? Phoenix Wright? Tossed out of the profession by false evidence? And the forger who made that evidence? Is this girl standing in front of me? Vera, you must tell us. The evidence you made was used in a trial 7 years ago. Who asked you, Misham, you to forge that evidence? For all of our sakes, who was it? We only met once. You met the client? Well, who was it? It was... What's going on with Vera? She's staring at Prosecutor Gavin's face again. Yes? What? Is there something about me? I remember clearly. I remember who gave me the book, the diary. Who was it? Vera! Vol. Defendant Vera Misham. Condition: unconscious. Examiners diagnosed acute atroquinine poisoning. This ends the recording of the trial for the murder of Drew Misham. Vermisham was, during the trial, poisoned by an unknown assailant. The dosage was just under the lethal amount, sparing the defendant's life. She is currently in intensive care. It is not to be disturbed for any reason. A very simple case at first glance, until it finally began to show its true colors. The long road to the truth takes us to the record of another trial. In some ways, that was the starting point of it all. And that is where we must go, to find the whole truth. A bit of a shocking ending to that one, huh, Di? I did say this one is going to be a little bit longer than last week's. So, we're going to be listening to some familiar music, Di. Yes, that's why I said we were doing 2 parts today. And it is very fitting to do the 2 parts here. And then next week we have to do an investigation. Which the following week should be just the trial. The investigation is going to be long. So, what happened? Well, let's recap the last part, okay? Give us what you experienced in this, Di. You're not sure? So, basically, we didn't really learn anything new from Vera other than the fact is that this first case that she's talking about was not a painting. Happens to be forged evidence used in a trial that we're going to be going into in just a moment. Now, she has atroquinine poison inside of her system, which we already know where it basically came from, but we don't know who gave it to her. So that's basically what that whole entire part. Now we're going to go into familiar territory. Yeah. Showdown time. I lost. Only a game of poker. A game I've played for a long time and only lost twice. Who was the first? The man I killed, of course. Well, seems I've found the partner I've been looking for all along. Over a game of cards? Well, yes, over a game of cards. That was how we first met. 7 years ago. Seven years earlier, Phoenix Wright's final trial. April 19th, 9:27 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Yes, the setting looks a little different. We're missing 2 of our guards. 2. Okay. It's been a long time since I felt like such a rookie. Got to try and relax. Good morning, Mr. Enigmar. I'm sorry to have sprung this on to you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure I'm prepared. I understand. I am making the impossible of you. I'm asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Actually, it wasn't, trust me. Ooh, morning, Daddy! You know who this is, right, Di? I'm so glad you came. You okay, Daddy? They picking on you? I am fine as always. This old boy, he is here to help me after all. That's young man to you. Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on. Thanks. My first show's today after all. Oh, sure it is. What the heck is she talking about? Oh, old boy? Me? Look what he started. Here. What's this? I don't know. I just saw it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important. What's this? A memo for you or some such? Not from the looks of it. What is this? Looks like a page from someone's diary. I'll give it a read later. Notebook page added to the courtroom. This page is going to be very important. Well, how do you feel about the trial today? We'll get through it somehow. Incidentally, the prosecutor today is a new guy, I hear. Oh, easy win then, yes? They're calling him a true thoroughbred in the history of the prosecutor's office. Of course, there's one of those every year. The switching of attorneys just before the trial. I know it's a difficult situation to put you in, but allow me to say one thing, Mr. Wright. Yes? You will not be able to pronounce me guilty today. So do your best. But do not worry. First time a defendant's ever given me a pep speech. I'll do what I can. I see you do not understand. You see, it will be impossible for them to declare a verdict. Impossible? Yes. Isn't that right, Trucy? Yep, you bet, Daddy. My first look at this case was only yesterday. The information I was given was a tad bit lacking, to be honest. Still, I'll do what I can, for their sake. I believe the curtains will be lifting any time now. I'm in your capable hands, Mr. Wright. My client is Shady Enigmar, known to the world as Zach Grimari, while a popular magician, star of the Troupe Grimari. His mentor, Magnifique Grimari, was a rare breed of magician. He single-handedly ushered in a golden age of stage magic, till he was shot dead. Zach Grimari is the suspect. April 19th, 10 o'clock a.m. District Court, Courtroom number 7. Court is now in session for the trial of Shady Nigmar. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Does it feel kind of strange to be in the old courtroom, Di? Is the prosecution ready? I was just thinking. Is this what all the fuss is about? Bit of a buzzkill, really. Buzzkill? Is this one some new kind of crime? One of the worst. This is a trial, yeah? Where are the sweaty palms, the pounding heart? A Gavanier's concert got 10 times the thrill this gig's got. Who were you again? Clavier Gavin. I came to the party started. Legally, ja. Gavin. Defense attorney Christoph Gavin's. Figured my brother's more famous in this part of town. Clavier Gavin. Lead singer for the mega hit band The Gaviniers. You're out of your league, rock boy. So this would technically be about, I would say, a few months after Trials and Tribulations, which this would technically take after, I would say, the investigation games. Because Prosecutor's Path is a direct sequel to the first investigation game, Prosecutor's Gambit. I'm still used to calling it Prosecutor's Path. But yet this should be on the timeline after Prosecutor's Gambit. I know what you're thinking. You're out of your league, rock boy. True, my debut single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love, went platinum overnight. Are we actually going to know about Guilty Love here, or is this the only song that they recorded during this time? But that's just a hobby to me compared to this, yeah. Talkative, aren't you? I like your effect, Euro Rock accent, by the way. I'm just getting warmed up for Attorney Wright. Perhaps you will be so kind as to fill us in on the case. Ta, baby. Time to call on the opening act. What was his name again? Yes, Detective Gumshoe. Hit it. And you are? You just said his name a moment ago. Di, do you miss him too? Hey, you were the one who called me up here, sir. You miss him, don't ya? Name's Dick Gumshoe. I'm a homicide detective down at the precinct. Detective Gumshoe. Long time no see. Hey, you! Me? Today's the day, pal. Today I win and you lose. I got confidence in my testimony today, see? What? You normally lack confidence in your testimony. I am not a really big fan of the artwork for this game, because they don't feel like the original game. It just feels kind of off. A detective. This is my stage. Can the ante. all this AUing and such. And I could care less about your history together. Very well. Detective Gumshoe, if you would, please tell us about the case at hand. It happened 6 days ago, or 6 days back, in a room at the General Hospital. The facts are as simple as they come. Here's the crime scene. The victim was a patient, asleep in the hospital bed. Keep a close eye on this image, Di. Look at it, scan it. Top to bottom, left to right. Because this picture will become very important. The killer comes in, puts a pistol to his forehead, and bam, lights out. Them's the facts. Not so long ago, the victim Magnifique Grimoire was a famous man. He had the entire country under his magic spell, as it were. Ah yes, the great magician. He retired years ago, though. Say the name Magnifique to one of my generation, and you'd be lucky to get a blank stare. Yes, though I'm sure that the youngsters today know his disciples even better. I dare say Troopa Grimoire has made quite a name for themselves. Anyhow, the retired Magnifique's been in the hospital for the last year. What was it? Malignant tumor or something? Malignant tumor? A tutor or something? Doing something to his liver, I think? Yeah. A malignant tumor, perhaps? In other words, he had liver cancer. He had only 3 months left to live, in fact. Magnifique's chart added to the court record. Facts do seem simple enough, but something's not right. The victim was already climbing a 3-month stairway to heaven. Why not wait for him to knock on heaven's door? Why shoot him? Di, I think you know this song. I know this song. I want to say his name is Bob Dylan, because I think he also did a song called Hurricane. Technically, the entire song is called The Story of Hurricane. I wouldn't put it quite so lyrically, but it's true. Why make the effort to commit murder when the victim was about to die? Incidentally, the victim had a serious case of diabetes. Diabetes? In fact, he was about to shoot up with insulin. When he was shot with a pistol, the syringe was found at the crime scene. Do they still do needles with insulin at the hospital? I thought insulin is submitted through IV when they're in the hospital. I always thought that. It might still be done through needles. Chronic diabetes and cancer. As much as it pains me to say it, the victim was clearly at the end of his life. Small syringe added to the court record. I believe the question before us is clear then. Why did the killer have to shoot this dying man? What reason could he have had? Very well, detective. Perhaps you can enlighten us as to the circumstances of the shooting. Yes, sir. Circumstances. Actually, the victim kind of ordered the defendant to do him in. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder. The defendant did what was asked of him and shot the old man in the forehead. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene, no doubt about it. And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sir. What? You're saying the victim ordered his own shooting, which is classified as a suicide? Those are the facts I have. I have here the letter in question. Magnifi's letter added to the court record. Very unusual indeed. So if this was actually a case in a real court system, instead of being charged for murder, if this is actually what the victim wanted, he would be charged with assist in suicide, not murder, which is a lot lighter crime than murder itself. Although, could such a thing as a letter really cause one to pull a trigger? I wonder. I believe the answers to that questions can be found at the end of the letter. Oh, you cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Detective Gumshoe, can you explain this to the court? Unfortunately, even the defendant won't say a peep about this bit, sir. One thing bothers me about this. Why didn't he just say 11? We're worried about a time? See, you can see the artwork is a little off. In the DS version, they actually reused the same sprites. This was all redone. And this kind of reminds me of what people was saying about the 3DS version of Ace Attorney Trilogy. This looks miles off from what it should look like. They did have an Apollo Justice remake on the 3DS, and they said that it looks better than this. So the artwork is slightly weird. Why have him come at 11:05 without some specific reason? The devil is in the details, our attorney. Well, was there some reason? As it turns out, there was. Every night for a half hour, starting at 11, the victim, Magnifique Grammaire, was given an IV. An IV? There is, in the picture off to the side of the bed, 11 o'clock, a doctor would come to set up the IV. 30 minutes later, he would come back for the empty bag. That's what happens every night without fail. So that was the only time they would meet without the victim of an ultimately untimely interruption. When I was in the hospital, the IV would last more than 30 minutes. I think at every 3 hours I would end up getting a new bag. But I was very slow administrating because there could be a different reason why he would end up getting a new bag every 30 minutes. Maybe he was set up for fast administering IV. I was very slow. So, I don't know the details of that. I don't want to make any assumptions as to why that is. During his IV, very well, shall we begin? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination if you would. What's this reason he couldn't refuse, I wonder? He could have at least mentioned it to me. Just because he got the letter doesn't mean he went through with it. This is where I think they should have kept the old Phoenix Wright voice, because this is not what he sounded like in the trilogy. It's okay to keep the new voice in the throughout the game itself, but when they went to this trial, they should have used the original voice, because that's what he sounded like in the trilogy. Yes, using a different voice to show that he has aged makes sense. Oh, I disagree. The victim was indeed shot in the forehead after all, just as he had commented. It could be a setup, but let's not be in such a hurry. Maybe we should let the witness talk for a change. Thanks, pal. Fine, I can play slow as well as I can play it fast. On with the testimony, Detective Gumshoe. And this letter was sent by the victim? There it is. Gotcha. You're all mine this time, pal. Huh? I had the handwriting checked out, of course. It's the victim, no mistaken. Ah, I see. Ha 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 ha. Score one for the boys. I didn't lose. I was just ascertaining the facts. So why am I so annoyed? But a letter ordering your own death? Things aren't what they used to be, I guess. I'm not sure this is exactly commonplace even now, Your Honor. So anyways, guess I'll keep going while I'm ahead. How can you be so sure? Hey, you gotta learn to stop relying on people to do your thinking for you, pal. Learn to think for yourself. Get the noggin cracking. You fail to grasp the concept of questioning, Detective. First, we got this letter. It says, shoot, in the forehead. Loud and clear. I can see that, but I still wouldn't do it. Well, maybe you need to grow yourself a backbone, pal. Who in their right mind would literally follow a letter of kill to the T? There's really no benefits to doing that. You failed to grasp the concept of shooting people as bad, Detective. We also found the defendant's pistol at the scene. Traces of gunpowder residue shows that it had been fired recently. Oh, Mr. Wright? As far as I can tell from looking at this photo, there seems to be no issues with the prosecution's claim. The photo. Maybe there's something in there I can use. So, they're saying the defendant shot the victim in the forehead. I think there's a hole in the prosecution's argument. Clearly, Mr. Enigmar. Looking at this photo, another possibility occurs to me. Yes? What does this letter tell us? That the defendant had a reason he couldn't refuse his teacher's wishes. Bingo, pal! That's why the defendant popped him one in the forehead. Oh? The defense disagrees. You see, the defendant had another choice he could make.
Objection!
What? You can prove that with this photo? I can prove it. Prove he had a choice, yes. The defendant might have fired like he was ordered, but he didn't shoot the victim's forehead. Well, let's hear what you are thinking, Mr. Wright. If he didn't shoot the victim's forehead, what did the defendant shoot? The clown doll? Take a closer look, see? It's been shot on the forehead too. Oh, there's a hole in its forehead. Yes, and a hole in the prosecution's claim.
Objection!
Ha! I suppose you have a reason as to why he'd shoot the clown doll? He didn't just shoot the doll, he shot the doll's forehead. His forehead? Ugh. Let's read the orders once more, shall we? You will shoot one shot square in the forehead, which is exactly what he did. He shot the clown doll square in the forehead. The defense has raised an intriguing possibility. The hole in the clown's forehead definitely looks like it was shot. Bailiff, send someone to investigate this matter.
Objection!
I admit I'm impressed, but I expected nothing less. Still, this doesn't mean that he didn't shoot the victim.
Objection!
Perhaps he did have to shoot a forehead as ordered, but the letter says nothing about whose forehead. This was the only way he had to follow his orders without taking a life. The bullet hole in the clown doll's forehead does demand an explanation. It might very well be a clue. Yet Prosecutor Gavin is right. It alone does not prove the defendant's innocence. You cannot say for sure the defendant didn't shoot the victim. Sorry, Mr. Wright. How sad it is to see the mighty fall. How sad it is to see the novice's confidence. He doesn't realize just how big this little hole is going to get. Detective Gumshoe, please take this newfound fact into account as you continue your testimony. So what if he shot the clown? He still shot the victim, pal. Remember what that letter says. Shoot. Hold on. The joystick messed me up. I didn't have time to gather all the details before coming in here. This testimony might be my only source of information. Better pay attention and read this letter carefully. Alright, let's go back to the statement. So let me get this straight. You're saying my client first shot the clown, then shot the victim? Hey, not a bad summary, pal. More of a confirmation than a summary, but whatever. That was really more of a confirmation than a summary. But our defense attorney seems pleased enough for themselves. Do these people ever miss a chance to mock me? Well, now that Mr. Wright's gotten that out of his system, shall we continue with the testimony? Okay. All right. It looked like we pressed 4 statements out of the 6 we got, because it jumped the new statement at the end, which was something they did in the older Phoenix Wright games. You want to go to the new statement. You can also ask for details for any of these if you'd like. Details of this one. Welcome, Robo. Yes, I do too. The only thing I'm not a big fan of is the fact that they are using the new voice actor in this part of the trial, which they should have kept the old voice actor. It was fine to include the new voice actor for present day, but they should have kept the old voice actor for this trial.
Objection!
Doesn't seem to work. The witness statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I will have to penalize you, Mr. Wright. I must be on the wrong track. So, we're missing one piece of evidence. So there's...
Objection!
I didn't want to do that. I hit the wrong button on that one. Whoops! Sorry about that, Die. You can always press the two statements that you haven't pressed yet, because these two statements here have not been pressed.
Hold it!
You mean this pistol, the one in the crime scene photo? Well, that's the one. It's a funny looking gun, so there's no mistaking it. Funny looking? It's an old Western dual pistol. We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with a bullet fired from this gun. I used to do that in the DS days, but I played this so many times I don't really need to. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match. So you verified the murder weapon in other words? You bet we did.
Hold it!
Why are you so certain? What pile of sand has your head been stuck in all this time, pal? You never heard of Zach and Balance quick draw shoot 'em? Huh? Well, what's that? One of the victim's the defendant's specialties. Zach and Balance stand on either side of the girl. Then they shoot. But the bullet don't hit her. Instead, they hit everything else on stage. This was one of the pistols they used in their show. Got a great design, huh? The kids love it. Many boys and girls join the police because of the pistol, I hear. You know, that would explain a lot about the police force. Trooper Grimoria stopped doing that act a while ago, and we'll get to the reason why later. The old man held on to the pistol ever since. The court would like to see the pistol in question. You got it, sir. Here she is. Well, this is truly a blast from the past. It's a stage pistol for magic shows, see? But it can fire real bullets. Looks so much bigger in real life than on TV. Yeah, but it can only hold one round. By the way, the pistol's firing chamber is empty. And it shows traces of having been fired recently. So, were any fingerprints found on the gun? Unfortunately, no. Do you want easy mode? Of course, the defendant is known for wearing gloves. We might say that a lack of fingerprints is in fact a fingerprint of its own. Ha ha! Intriguing point, well made. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Not well made, not intriguing! In any case, the court accepts this evidence. This is the piece of evidence that you needed, Di, for that statement. My grandchild would get a kick out of seeing this. But now it's time to return to our testimony. So now we have the piece of evidence that we need for this testimony.
Objection!
The trickiest case often seen the simplest. Prosecutor Gavin, you missed the bullet hole in the clown's forehead. If you hadn't missed that, you might have come to a very different conclusion. Understand? Yeah, but like I said, pal, after he shot the clown in the forehead, he went and
Objection!
did nothing of the sort to the victim. The pistol proves he could not. A murder weapon? Oh, it's simple, Your Honor. This pistol only holds one bullet at a time. Oh. If he had shot the clown in the forehead, he couldn't have shot the victim too.
Objection!
That's not a contradiction, not even close. All he had to do was reload the pistol after the first shot. If he was given no bullets, how is he able to do that?
Objection!
Oh? Where did he get the extra bullet? They're not so easy to come by, you know. If you claim the defendant had one ready, then prove to us how he got it. I had a feeling this wasn't over yet. Maybe. No, this party's just getting started. I haven't proven anything yet, beyond my good looks and startling record sales. An utter lack of humanity. Oh, what's this? Seems that the prosecution has yet another witness prepared. Like I said, detective, was just a warm-up act. Now that the audience has gotten a taste of what it's come, they're ready. Ready for what? For my decisive witness, of course. A witness who, you will find, can prove one thing for us. That is Zachary, who shot the victim in the forehead. Very well. We will pause for a 15-minute recess. This might be my lucky break. I'll need the 15 minutes to talk to my client, Zach. Court is adjourned. Okay. Okay. I didn't expect that one to be that short. By submitting, we already know how this trial ends. He's already been, accused, he's already lost his badge. We know that he, submitted, falsified evidence. So, he did lose this trial based on that. That was the big thing that they, talked about all throughout the entire game. What? Did you not expect that one to be that short? No? So I'm going to leave it to you. Do I continue? Or do I give you time enough to do things for the PFL so we have it ready for Thursday? I think you probably would take the latter. That's what they call visual novels. At some point, we are going to play the third part to Famicom Detective Club. Emio. So, yeah. You got a glimpse of what the first part of the last trial is. Next week's going to be just about as long. We will finish this trial next week. We will also be doing the investigation as well, because I'm pretty sure that it's going to still be short. Not as nearly as long. So we will end it for today. Okay, so I will close this down here. We were going to the old Ace Attorney, so I expected it to be a little short. The newer ones were just a little bit longer. We will be going back to the longer portion of it. But yeah, we should have about 2 more weeks, maybe 3, for this particular game. Then we're going to take a week off before we go into Dual Destinies. Dual Destinies is probably going to take us to the end of the year and the start of next year. Because Spirit of Justice, I know I'm going to be starting in 2027 or 2026. We're in 2025, not 2026. 2026. So what's the lookout? I got to change tomorrow's stream. Andy wants to do A Link to the Past again. He wants to do the Game Boy Advance version, which I kind of don't understand why he wants to stream that one, but that's his choice. I'm still waiting for him to do Minish Cap, because that should have been done a while ago. 2 years, in fact. Wednesday, we're going to go and do Da Hack. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be week 16 of the PFL. Saturday night and Sunday night, Andy's going to take over with Toho and Resident Evil 8. Robo, if you're interested, there is a Discord link in the description at the very bottom for if you want to participate in the PFL or just want to join the Discord server altogether, you can. Monday we'll start back up with Apollo Justice again. That's our week. Tonight, after the stream, we will have a Discord stream. We will be, we're doing the awards. We're doing the All-Star Game nomination for the PFL. Di does get things ahead of time by doing the emails, getting things set up for newspapers. We have to go through teams that has home games and set up for Fan Appreciation Day, because we're down to the last 2 weeks. So remember that, Di. Don't forget about that. And injury report. And that's going to be it. So it's always nice to see new faces. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I would do raids, but I still need to get a new laptop that has a battery. Or replace the battery that's in my laptop. And I haven't been able to get a battery for it at the moment. Alright, so I will see you all again on Wednesday. Money. I still have to get money. Because I haven't got my payout for YouTube yet. because YouTube is taking their pretty little time with the payouts. So, come here. Come here. You're going to help with the closing. Come here. Come here. Sorry. Come here. Alright. Fiona wants to say goodbye. See? Fiona wants to say goodbye. Say goodbye to everybody. Good night. Good night, everybody. Yeah. Take care.